It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight, we're going to finish up the U.S. Postal Service cardstock kit that I've got. It says it looks like this when it's done, so hopefully mine is going to look like that as well. I hope everyone is doing fantastic this evening. I think I'm going to start probably with the roof. I did a little bit of work on the roof, and I am going to keep going there, and then we'll put the pylons in and get the roof on top, and lickety-split, we'll have a building made out of paper, which sounds pretty darn good. I do have a poll question going on tonight. Do you read model railroading books? I actually thought that might be an interesting question as well. I'm always looking for interesting model railroading books. I don't know, I like all different kinds, so I thought I'd throw it out there. I've actually got some books on my workbench tonight that, depending on how things go, I'll maybe show them, but we'll see. Is Heath gonna diss us? Russ, always, always. The roof is on fire. I hope the roof is not on fire. That would not be good. But I did do a little bit of work. I got some, I don't know if they're air conditioning units or what they are on the roof, but I got a couple units on the roof already. I made this pylon. I cut a couple things out. I did not cut out the sort of mail specific things. I'm just focusing on the building stuff. But these two kind of vent pieces go on here, and that's what these are for. And I thought I'd try and figure out how to fold those up and get those situated, and then we'll just go and pop the roof on. Wigwag says, I have about 60 books on model railroading and general model books, including military modeling. Wigwag, why don't you name 52 of them? Go from there. Lynn's got a fair collection of railroad books. Mostly I just look at the picture. Me too. Me too. Frank, I still get some magazine subscriptions. I find I'm not reading them digitally. And I find that I read them if they're on paper, but not digitally. So that's kind of the thing. Roger likes prototype railroad books. I guess that's an interesting question, is what different types of books are there from model railroading? Speaking of prototype books, the books that I got recently, why don't we just jump right into that? I like those 40-foot boxcars of the old days, especially the ones, I mean, it's a reefer, it's not a boxcar, but to me they're similar but different. I know they're different. But I love the billboard ones. So I got this book, and then this book was recommended to me as well, The Great Yellow Fleet. So between these two books, I should know almost everything about reefers if I actually get to reading them. But then I noticed this guy, John H. White, has a whole bunch of books out, and a couple of them didn't come in yet, but I got a couple of his books. One of them that did come in, though, is this book, The American Railroad Freight Car. And this one's a little bit thick. So I don't know, like, I don't know. There is a lot of information in here. I'm not really sure. I want to read more. I don't know if I am going to read more, but I do want to read more. And I'm kind of hoping that if nothing else by osmosis, maybe, I'll get the information from some of those books. Reading is good. Reading is definitely good. I didn't do a lot of it growing up. I avoided reading as much as possible, but I definitely try and read some more now. This is me as well, Mike. I tend to get most of my stuff from YouTube these days as well, which is good to some extent. I mean, I like the video format. I like being able to see things in that way. But I do think there's some things in books that are worth reading. So I'm gonna, as we chat a little bit, I'm gonna start cutting out these rooftop elements. We'll see how they look once I can figure out how to fold them all up, and we'll kind of go from there. Joey says he read a ton as a kid. Yeah, I think part of it was I always felt like I was being forced to read. I used to, well, it's interesting. I used to like reading certain things, like choose your own adventure books. I really enjoyed reading those, but those weren't on the, on the school reading list. There was other stuff on the school reading list, and I can read things when I'm interested in them, even to this day. It's very easy for me to read something I'm interested in. It's very difficult to read something I'm not interested in. Heath, can you flip through the Great Yellow Foot book so we can get an idea of what is in it? Absolutely. This is an older book. Let's see if I can figure out the year. These are not cheap books, by the way, but does it say anywhere the year? So this is the third printing from 1994. Originally came out in 1986, but yeah, it's got a bunch of pictures, which is a good start. as well. I'm told, so there's Pacific Fruit Express. I've told it's got Merchant's Dispatch. More Pacific PFE stuff. Pacific Fruit Santa Fe. Merchant's Dispatch, here we go, MDT stuff. Private refrigerator car lines, beer and wine refrigerator cars. Nickel plate. I like this is looks like a coffee table style book. The writing is pretty big, or I should say the text is pretty big, which is good for me these days. A little New York Central, a little Erie. It's kind of neat. I'm looking at some of these and I'm like, oh, I think I have that car, or at least one very similar to it. Oh, look at this. Here are additional details on the 1905 to 1906 Baltimore, Ohio Class R4 reefer. Hey, if you want to scratch build something, looks like this has more than enough information on it. Oh, here we go. Look at this. The simplified cross-section shows the interior of an ice bunker car. That's kind of neat. But yeah, I still need to finish. I still haven't started it. I read at college level in 6th grade. Wow, there you go. Yeah, see, Choose Your Adventure. I loved having some, I guess, some involvement in it, right? I mean, that was kind of, I guess, the big draw for me is I got to decide, you know, how the story was going to go, which I enjoyed. I also find I don't do really well if the writing is kind of complicated and confusing. I'm not as into it. I like writing that's kind of simple. Just sort of the way it is, I guess. I don't know. All right, so there's one of those cut out. Let's cut out the other one and then we'll fold it. Derek, it does look like a cool reference. Andy Estep, if he pops in here, actually has this book, and I think he's actually read it. So he might be able to tell you a little bit more if he pops up. I'm not so sure I like instructional books, but I do like having reference books around. I guess now I just Google everything. I barely look at a reference book, but used to do a lot of, like, I remember back in the day, you know, I'd have that Excel book sitting on the desk or next to the desk, and anytime I was trying to figure out something in Excel that I didn't know how to do, open up the book, find the section, figure out how to do it. Now I just, you know, Google search, oh, Excel, Google search whatever I'm trying to do. Definitely a lot of information at our fingertips these days. A lot of information. Moo Pop hit with a good book once when I fell asleep. Oh, jeez. My pop hit me with a book, I think it's what he's saying when he fell asleep in church. Ray's got a lot of old books, some black and white, some color, some with measurements. They're fun to look at, but I'm trying to figure something out. I do think, like these books that I got here, I've looked for some stuff online and I haven't really found resources that have that kind of information in that sort of consolidated format, which is kind of nice. The other thing I'm trying to do that, again, I don't do really very good at, but I want to start reading before I go to bed. And, you know, instead of watching TV and staying up all night, sitting down with a good railroad book and doing and having that lull me to sleep. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm doing it too low. So what I'm doing is at the edge of the desk here. Let's see. Actually, I can maybe do this. So I took this to the edge of my little cutting mat, which is allowing me to kind of get under it. And then it's enabling me to get a better fold out of it because I can actually get under it. And I'm folding it in the wrong direction to then fold it in the right direction, because unfortunately there are only lines on the top, not on the bottom. Ooh, yeah, Popular Mechanics were great. Yeah, especially like books like this as well. Don't seem to make it to places like Google, which I mean I guess it's good. It keeps the eBay market doing pretty good. I got all these books on eBay. I think on eBay. I think one of the ones that's coming tomorrow, I think I got on Amazon. But yeah, and the irony is I just sold a bunch of books because I wasn't, I wanted to clear up some shelf space. And what do? I go and buy some more books right away. So I got some, what are these called? Clothespins, little tiny clothespins. I'm going to use some Aliens tacky glue, and we'll get these guys glued up real quick. Oh, I couldn't find the second one. Reading before bed never works. Oh yeah, I know, right? That's my thing as well, is I end up falling asleep before I get through, almost anything, but I don't know. That's okay, I think, in my opinion. Okay. So we got the glue mushed in. Gonna try and put the clip on in the right spot. There we go. What was here's a question for everybody. What was the last model railroading book you read? So not magazine, not like something online, but what was the actual last book, model railroading book you read? Mine's probably maybe pretty obvious, but mine was that Bruce Chubb Operations book. That was the last thing I read. But what was the last thing other people read? Oh, 101 Track Plans. That's a good one. Clothespins are handy. I really like these small ones too, especially being in the scale of the N people. They definitely work really well, especially for this cardstock stuff. Looking at a new book from Lance Minheim. Ron, did you watch the Around or listen to the Around the Layout podcast that Ray Arnott just did with Lance Minheim? I thought it was actually a really good interview. But I do like Lance's ideas around model railroading, so I think I have several of his books. I haven't, unfortunately, read them. Does the third shelf hold up your railroad? No. Have 3 bookcases only to shelf books on them. Yeah, if I had the space, one of my dreams is kind of to have a big kind of library room. I don't know why. There's something about the energy of books, the information that is in them, and I just think it's kind of not yet. It's on my list. Yeah, I think it's a good, if you don't know too much about Lance, I think it's a good intro to kind of who he is. Kind of get you into some of his books that he does. But yeah. Turn the clothespins inside out. Yes, I could do that as well. These little ones, if I'm not mistaken, I tried turning them inside out and the little ones didn't work. But maybe I just did something wrong, which, that could be likely if it was me. Heath, are you going to the New England prototype meet in June? I thought about going to the one last year. Actually, I haven't. I am scheduled out to essentially May. I haven't thought about June. Where is it this year? Because that'd be a good thing to go to. I do have, a couple events that are on my radar. I don't think I'm going to be going to Texas, but I will likely do the Northeast region convention just because that's local in my area. But the thing I'm really excited about is Island Ops. This weekend is Island Ops. I am going to Vince Lee's Erie 28, which is an 8-foot long shelf layout of the Erie 28 car float and yard. And I just think that would be a lot of fun. Mike Steeper and Guides to Signals and Interlockings by Dave Abel. He's another really good book. Wigwag, you got to do a video. Show me how to turn them around. Oh, is it? It's going to be in Springfield. Huh. Springfield's pretty easy for me to get to on the Amtrak, so it ends up not being that expensive I mean, don't get me wrong. The hotels are expensive, but I don't have to fly in or anything, which definitely saves a lot of money. Ron, I'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure. I do want to go to an RPM meet at some point. I'm enjoying the operations stuff right now, so I'm trying to, I guess, spend my money on that part of the hobby. Visiting people's layouts. I've been renting cars more to get places. I'm hoping. I don't know if you, Ron, made any progress, but one thing I would like to do is get up to Connecticut, up to the New Haven area, and go to like Chris Adams' layout and go to Ron's layout and check out some of the layouts up in that area as well. One of the things I'm learning about operations is there seem to be these hidden pockets of ops groups that are kind of fun. What NMRA event in Pittsburgh? Is there an NMRA event in Pittsburgh? I'm not sure of one in Pittsburgh. Oh, Frank is mentioning it. Pittsburgh next weekend. Oh, I don't know of one. Anyone read the modeling books from Verlinden? I have not. Are they military modeling stuff? Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, Ron, I guess if I'm going to do something in June, I'd almost rather just come see you guys than go to an RPM meet. But I'm not really a prototypical modeler, so the prototypical stuff doesn't, it interests me as far as operations go, but I don't know. I might be able to be persuaded. Wigwag says he recommends searching them out. I may have to, of course I should probably take a note because I won't remember after the show, but I will try and remember. Paul says he's been good. Frank, tell us about this event in Pittsburgh. An NMRA event in Pittsburgh. So Island Ops is this coming up weekend. I don't know if, but that's on this part of this side of Pennsylvania, not the Pittsburgh side. Rails to Pittsburgh Convention. Mid-Central NMRA Regional Convention, NMRA Region Convention, May 4th through 7th in Pittsburgh. I didn't realize Mid-Central was Pittsburgh, but I guess that makes sense. All right, so we got those glued up. I'm going to give them just a couple seconds to set. One of the things we were talking about last week was well, they call this an art knife, but X-Acto knives, and this is the one I have. I really enjoy it. People are making fun of me because I only have a couple of these blades, and this was on sale, so I thought I'd pick up another handle and set of blades. This is the Olfa Art Knife. Cushion grip for comfort, perfectly balanced for precision. It comes with two number 11s, one little like scalpel-like blade, and one which looks like a number 18 type of blade. So yeah, I like this one. Oh, they also have these knives that I thought, or not knives, but saws. They have saw attachments for these that look pretty interesting as well. The military diorama series is great. All techniques can be used in model railroading. That is definitely true. They are definitely a good thing to check out. All right, so we're going to glue these on now. Let's try and take a look at the picture. See if I can figure out which way they're supposed to go. Looks like the sort of triangle-ish part goes towards the outside. Oh, interesting. I tried the saw attachment, didn't work for me. The blade kept bending. I like that knife. It has the nub so it doesn't... Yes. Yeah, this little nub here, and then it's got it on the cap as well, so the cap will go over that nub, but it also just means that it just doesn't roll off the table, which, very good point. So I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to glue these on, because there's really no tabs or anything, but I've been finding if I just kind of put a little glue in the corners and then hold it down a little bit, it seems to stay good enough. Good enough for what I am up to. So there's one. Kind of sits on there like it should. Let's get the next one out. Cutting convoy belts. What is a convoy belt? I don't know that I know what that is. Yeah, the knife is great. The saw, I can see that. The saw is definitely a longer tool. So I can see how that would bend and not kind of work as well. All right, so I'm gonna put this aside, and we'll get to the next part. Is we'll put in these guys to start building up the structure a little bit more. Use the X-Acto saw blade. Fine for small work. The saw is a bit fiddly. Yeah, that does seem to be the consensus. So this little card right here tells you what the pylon placement is. So I guess I can start kind of laying this out and kind of figuring out which corners the pylons go on. So it looks like the pylon, there's a pylon that goes in this corner and this corner. Now what I don't know is, it's got kind of like flaps that don't, there's no like cover to it, and then a bottom thing. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the bottom part to the bottom, and we'll leave the open flaps open, and that's what we'll glue the roof down to that when we get to that point. Digits not functioning. Oh, conveyor. I understand that word. So this is going to go on this corner, and then the other piece will go next to it, and hopefully we'll get a square corner. Trying to see if I can find a corner that almost seems like it's a little bit square-ish. Squarer. And we'll start making a thing. I'm liking this Aliens Tacky Glue for this. It definitely seems to be working pretty well for what I am attempting to do. I don't know why. Today seems very quiet. Like, just in general, like, even when I started the show, I was kind of like, why is it so quiet tonight? Like, what's going on? And even, like, looking at the concurrent viewers, like, it's, it's lower than usual. Chat's pretty low right now. It's like, it's a quieter night. Is there a big special event going on tonight? Or are people just sort of relaxing, getting ready for the summer? No trains running? Yeah, I don't have any trains running tonight. Greasy Meatheads? Is second section on right now? Now I'm looking. Not enough tacos? No, we got Athern. A whole bunch of people. So Atlas did their O-Scale spring catalog, and then Athern does their show, and Athern's got a huge crowd going on. So where do I get the aliens? I think I got it at Michael's before it closed around by me. What is my overall feel on the build? It's interesting. It's not a very structurally it's not a very structurally sound thing, but it's I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. All right, so this I think goes here. So it's interesting, the overview doesn't show the loading dock area. It shows the thing there, the pylon there, but it doesn't show the loading dock. So I think the next thing to do is I'll put pylons on either end of this guy. Because then I think that will then allow me to glue that into this other piece and start getting kind of a semblance of a building made up. But I'm enjoying, Mike, to I guess answer your question, I'm enjoying putting this together. I think it's an interesting project. I don't think that this is necessarily something that on my shelf layout, because of how small it is, I think it would just draw too much attention. And I'm not sure that, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But I don't think it's going to look finished enough. And I don't know that I have the artistic skills to make it more finished. I could also add more bracing, make it a little bit stiffer. Yeah, I saw second section was on Friday, so are they not on tonight? Yeah, I know. This is a little bit more low-key than my usual sort of chaos that I usually that can usually be seen on my channel. So I can dig it. I can get it. So yeah, so this is gonna go here now. So I need one more here in this corner. This corner here. There is no like bottom for this, so I can always go back and add some more structure in the center. The roof piece, I think, is what is gonna really lock it all together. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting that glued into place and then kind of seeing what the stability looks like. I do think these would make great background flats. I definitely think that is very, very much true. Howdy guys, haven't made it home from work yet. Just wondering what special properties Alien Glue has. It's not alien. just so we're all clear, it's Aliens, A-L-E-E-N-E apostrophe S, so not aliens. I don't really know what's different about it. They call it a tacky glue. It's not as runny, I don't feel, as like regular white glue. It is more of like it more kind of like stays where you put it. And I do think it might have just a little bit of that extra tackiness that allows you to kind of like set something and let go of it as well. So Wigwag, I think the over-under on me finishing has a lot to do with how long I stay on, because I've been known to do some long shows. So if I do like a really long show, you know, I can definitely get it done. I definitely think it's possible. The Aliens does not soak through the paper. And I am just realizing this one is not in the right spot at all, which may cause problems later. I just put the glue on it. Which should I want to glue? I wanted to glue this to this. So let's get this in here. This is also not paper, it's also cardstock. So that is also helpful as well, as far as the not going through it. The chance of smoke. No smoke. No smoke. Aliens are tacky when you grind them. I don't know why I clicked on that one. Background flats. Yeah, so I love, so good time to do this. PTF Designs, one of the sponsors of the channel, does background flats, and I love this sort of thing for background flats. So I do think that if my shelf layout was a little deeper, that having something 3D like this would make fantastic, fantastic background flats. But I think we'll put this together. We'll see. I think it'll be a great, great placeholder. I have Weld Bond over there as well. I don't know why, but I decided for this project to use the Aliens, and it's been going well, and it says it's America's favorite right on it. So America's favorite craft glue. But anyway, let me play the thank you. I did update the thank you because Roy, Eltham, and ContainerMan68 have been generous and donating gifted memberships, which has created extra work for me, but it's also grown the membership, which has been really fantastic. So 52 seconds, I'm going to play the thank you. It also has information on Iron Planet Hobbies, which he can get Kato stuff. Not all of it is on the website, but if you reach out to him, I just got these forklifts. I got the forklifts so that I can move the trash containers around, but Iron Planet Hobbies is really great. A lot of DCC stuff. And then also Mini Prints is also a supporter of my channel as well as the community. So check them out as well. I'll see everybody again in 52 seconds.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
I wonder how long Aliens has been around for. I guess it's been around for a little bit. I'm relatively new to Aliens. I definitely did not grow up with that glue, or at least I don't recall growing up with that glue, but I've been enjoying enjoying it. I don't know. That's a weird thing to say about glue. Like I said that, and then I was kind of like, wait, that's just like a weird thing to say about glue. I've been enjoying it. Um, so this piece is going to be a little bit trickier to get in here. This is where the dock is going. I guess I should put it down, try and get it straight-ish. So you can see my building has very accurately dimensioned walls. It's nice and squared off. Oh, it was Martha Stewart's favorite glue. Very interesting. See, I missed I missed the Martha Stewart show. Apparently, I would have learned something. Lynn says he has all night. Did I miss it? Oh, there you go. I've got all night. Yeah, I don't know that I have all night, but I definitely probably have enough time to get a good portion of this put together at least. I'm trying to decide whether I should put this one together first or put this side together first. I do seem to have a little bit of a wobble going on. This, I believe, is going to go over here. It's going to be my awning on this side. Got a couple other weird things too to add. Put in little finishing touches. We've got the dock. Got to put the roof on, obviously. That should hopefully square things off. Let's try doing this one first. Can't remember the name of the show on PBS, but it was a show with two old ladies talking about sewing that my mom used to watch, and the glue was their sponsor. Huh. Yeah. Everything is out of the box. That's the thing with these printed cardstock things, is that they are they didn't come in a box. They just came in an envelope, and much easier for me to open. Doesn't take as long. Is Dwight Curley here? I don't think I've seen Dwight yet. I've got Dwight sent me one of his stickers. I just got that in the mail the other day. That's been sitting here on my desk as I put this little project together. Okay. You know, as I'm putting this together, I just had the thought, boy, I hope the roof fits. I mean, what could go wrong, right? I guess if the roof doesn't fit, I can just keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it until it does. This is giving me a little bit of a problem because it wants to probably just have to hold this for a second. I'm trying to get it lined up as good as I can to get it lined up. Sewing with Nancy. Never heard of that. There you go. So Lynn copied the original Aliens glue. This is all-purpose craft glue. Can do it all. There's a reason it's been around for more than 50 years. Does anyone know who Aileen is? I don't think she was an alien. I need a gluing jig. I do actually have the magnetic gluing jig. I could get it out. I don't think I really need it for this, though. I think that this is going to come together just nicely without it. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, the roof will definitely help keep it in place. Even now that I'm kind of getting this put together, it's starting to hold its shape a little bit more as we go. Let's get some glue on this. Get the last pylon glued up. Then we'll step back. We'll reassess. We will determine how we're going to make this roof fit. And we'll go from there. All right, so we're giving this a little pressure. All right, so let's not touch it for a second and hope it stays. So this pylon supposedly goes in the center of the roof and is going to help to hold up the roof. So I'm guessing, I'm kind of thinking before I put the roof in, I might as well just glue this in the center. I'm going to glue it kind of right over where that air conditioner is, and we'll do this while we're getting there. I don't know what we're talking about. He backed out onto the main, no extra cars. Dance the glue jig. An odd shaped build. It is an odd shaped building. But then again, you know, when they're not confined to the squareness of city blocks, I guess they can be a little bit more creative with how they do their buildings. They definitely have here. So let's try and figure out where this is. Put this on top. Let's hold this here. I guess I could have like checked to make sure it was the right height before I glued it into the center, but you know, you guys know me. I'm not one to shy away. Just getting it all glued up. A little pressure. So we'll try and fold all these little nuggets down here and get this glued in real nice. I guess this is going to go like this. Hey, look at that. It's actually kind of fitting. I do want to put... let's see. I'm going to put one of these in this corner here to help make this corner more of a corner. And then I think I'm going to put the other one along this long wall here because that seemed to be two places when I put the roof on. Yeah, where you been, Andy? We've been talking about tiny toothpicks for a while. They're end scale. I just called them toothpicks, didn't I? End scale clothespins. Is that one walk supposed to be curved? No, it's you're talking about like this wall here. Definitely not supposed to be curved. It is the nature, I think, of when I glued this top piece on. It kind of pulled it in. There's a couple pieces that I think once I kind of get it all put together that I think it's gonna hold its shape. Oh, I'm trying to glue this in without gluing myself too much. Andy fell asleep. Because she couldn't find one that met her expectations, Aileen created Glue to Aileen, which she began using in her classes, modifying the name Aileen's original tacky glue. Maybe you should have glued the AC units on after. I don't know. The reason I glued the ACs on first, one was so that I could do them before the show, which I think is going to end up being helpful. The other reason was that once I get the roof on, I can't really apply pressure. So, oh yeah, the poll does say 64%. Let's end the poll. So do you read model railroading books? 64% said yes. 35% said no. I guess if I'm going to be honest with I really kind of want two more of these. I kind of think I want one here as well. Although, let's see. If this goes here, it'll go over it. It goes over the thing. So let's glue this one on the interim there. Then we'll fold this up and get the roof on top. This was the first one of these I made, and I can tell because it's the only one that I folded in this direction. I folded the other ones in the other directions. Oh, now I can see what you're doing. I see you at using Al Leon's glue, not some new special space age super polymer. It could be a super polymer. You don't know. Could be. Could be just what I need it to be. I'm gonna take a little Sharpie. I'm gonna push down on these tops to try and get them a little bit more squished. I think that's the technical term for it, is squished. This one I need to still fold. Fold. Annie says I read more prototype books than model railroad books. Roger Coleman was saying that as well. I showed off Andy the Great Yellow Fleet. I got this the American Railroad Freight Car, which is a small little book of light reading, and then I've got this Billboard refrigerator cars as well. These are all prototype books, but I feel like they could definitely all come in very handy in regards to modeling as well. All right, so we're pushing this down so that I can get these to sit flatter. I mean, it's paper, it's going to bend, right? Oh, do you have these books, Roger? Another book that I have coming that didn't arrive yet is another J.H. White book on passenger trains. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2. And I'm kind of really excited about those as well. Roger says no, he doesn't have them. Andy, I have every one of those. Here's the question though, and I think I know the answer. Knowing Andy, I think I know the answer. But have you read every one of those? Roger reads album covers. Yeah, I didn't get the collective hardcover. I got the 2-volume paperback because it was cheaper. I don't need the collector's edition. I'm interested in it more for the information. See? Andy, yes. Andy is a wealth of knowledge. If you ever get a chance to pick his brain on things, particularly New York area railroading stuff, but other stuff as well. Andy is definitely a wealth of knowledge. And if I ever decide to do things a little bit more prototypically, I will definitely be asking Andy for his recommendations and suggestions. Okay. So now we're starting to look like something. I don't know what, but we are starting to look like something, and I guess I'm realizing I probably should have glued down half of these first, and then the rest of them so that I could have kind of held them down. Just making sure I'm kind of seeing all, look at this. Yeah, it looks good from the top, right? Second, the 1, 2, 3 block. I have a bunch of 1, 2, 3 blocks as well. Ah, Andy's are dog-eared. All right, so I need to focus a little bit. I don't know that I could put 1, 2, 3 blocks on this without it just completely collapsing everything. Although I think if I'm understanding what I think people are telling me to do, maybe what I can do would be to put one here and then put one here, and it can kind of help hold the shape of it. So not about weighing it down, but about creating the squareness of it. And maybe that will help. Is this what people meant that I should be doing? Was I misunderstanding the suggestion when it was first made? And then let's go back and take my Sharpie again, and we can just push down where I think the corners are to get that glue to set up. All right, that's even better. Yes, that's it. You can use the grid on the mat to help you square it up. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, Dennis, this is the same building as last week. I am just finally getting to hopefully finishing it up today. And we are adding the roof. And then I've got an awning for the front, which is this. I've got some little truss thing and this is, I think, the loading dock. And I think this is like a truss or something that goes across the top. I don't really understand that truss part, but it's like right there over the loading dock. But yeah, this, I don't know, maybe when I get the loading dock in, this piece will straighten out, or I might have to, I don't know, I might have to figure something out to get that to straighten out. And then I've just got, after these 3 pieces go on, which should help square it, then all I've got are, these are little, those little mail bins that you have, and then these are mail boxes for the outside. And then I've got a cardstock kit that I put together in essentially, well, I was going to say I put it together in 2 hours, but that's not really true because I did do a bunch of cutting and stuff not on stream. But if you were going to put it together and you were not on a live stream, you could probably easily get it done in hour and 15, I would say. I don't have a place on the layout for this structure. This was something that I had in the back of one of my little drawers or whatever that I pulled out just to take a little detour from what I had been doing previously. No, Dwight, it's not glued to the table, but I don't know if you saw, I've got this sitting up here today. Got that in the mail. Thank you. I think the middle AC is crooked. Probably is. Reading books about the Reading Railroad, yeah. So I'm just letting this set up a little bit more than I did with the other stuff because I feel like this is when it will pop apart. I'm not going to do it now, but what I might do at a later point would be to go in from the inside and kind of add a bead of glue around some of the corners and let those corners kind of set up a little bit more, because I think that would help as well. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. We got a couple more pieces to add. So let's see if we can get into the details, because it is all about the details. But you can kind of see there's the loading dock, back door, I guess. These are little parking signs there. Here's the front door. You can see that, like, this seam did not turn out very well. I really kind of messed that seam up, but maybe I could fill it in with pencil or something like that. So let's add this first. So this glues across the top kind of like this, but I need to fold these pieces first. And I think that'll definitely keep this a little bit straighter as well, just because of the way it's set up. Everyone applauds. I'm not done yet. Is it against the rules to use wood bracing for a paper kit? No. And if I was going to do this again and I wanted something a little bit more permanent, I probably would use wood bracing. Um, I think it would help give it just a little bit more structure, which I think would be, good. But for this kit, for this project, I really just wanted to try and just do it as designed, and not really take my own spin on it. I grew up kind of under that mindset, or under being taught, like, you've got to learn to do your scales before you can do something different. So this is kind of me just learning the techniques, trying some things out, just sort of seeing what I can make happen. Not sure how I'm gonna glue this on. What I'm not sure about is how I'm gonna get even pressure across this to get it to stick well where I want it. I guess that's one good reason why I'm using Aleene's. How long are the lines inside the post office? Oh, I mean, this post office, the lines are just, they're not going anywhere. This post office has not seen a postal vehicle in a long, long time. Ron from New Haven Rails says wood bracing is a must on these models, and I could definitely see that. Long term, I think adding, bracing. Sorry, let me put this down real quick. Adding bracing across these corner, like this way, across where the roof meets the thing, I think would have made this more sort of structural. I think if I had some wood that was a little more square as well, my paper stuff isn't as square as one might like. Dwight, this is an N scale building, so 1/160th. At least that's what it claimed to be in when I bought it. I don't know if it's actually that, but that is what it claimed to be. I'm just getting a toothpick. I want to try and spread this glue out a little bit on this part, so maybe I get a little bit better sticky on it when I try and put this on. I guess I probably should have dry fit test this before I just jumped right in, but I'm starting to rush because I'm getting near the end. So I'm like, better hurry up, instead of just taking my time. Yeah, you probably could have made a 2x4 and just put the 2x4 in the center. That definitely probably would have worked pretty well. This is definitely made to only view from the top, because the second you kind of get under it, you see the white, which I mean, I guess that makes sense, but didn't really think of that before. Needed to fold this a little more. Is this how they install real wood awnings on post offices? Alright, so we're starting to get some adhesion across the top, but this side does not want to stay in place at all. This is, oh, and now it's starting to come off. Oh, this is the part that didn't go as well as I might have hoped. I feel like I need something to help hold that, but I'm not, who's gonna look under it? Yeah, I know. I have nice toothpick technique, thank you. Cardstock can be used to brace, probably not gonna handle much, but wood is fine, just makes it slightly heavier. Yeah, and the extra weight, I think, might be a little helpful. Oh, there you go, styrene L brackets are an interesting solution as well. All right, so I'm kind of holding this in a weird way, just trying to get the glue to set up so that then I can kind of, once I get the glue in this corner to set up, I'll start bending this a little bit more to try and get it in the exact right way I want it. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's gluing back against this as well as possible. I'm starting to realize this was a mistake. I should have put the awning on first and then added this in later if I needed it, because right now it's not quite right. I like it when my structures are structurally structured. Dennis, I don't disagree. I do like the I had never seen that until I saw you doing it. I really like that too before. If I had a shop where I could cut blocks, I think it's a real smart idea. All right, so let's try and stop touching this for a couple minutes. See how well it stays where we need it. And we're going to fold this guy. So this is supposed to be, oh, the loading dock. And there's the little truck thingamajiggies. I don't know what they're called. Thanks, Roger. See you later. Just add more aliens polymer. I could definitely do that. More glue. Who was it? Gary. What was Gary's name? That was on second section. Talked about that he uses. I apologize, I'm blanking. CA glue, and he uses CA glue to make it hard, make the cardstock hard, to make it like stiffer. I sprayed mine with some dull coat just so that the surface, the printed surface, didn't come off. But the thought of kind of spraying it with something, at least on the back side too, that would make it a little bit stiffer, probably would be helpful. Although I'm not sure how he does it with the CA glue, but he definitely made a comment about it. Yeah, I probably do need some trains running. This is not a scale ruler, but I do have the Excel scale ruler with the different scales on it. But this is just a regular ruler that I got. That's it's got a little extra thickness than the other ones, and I like using this as my cutting edge because of that extra thickness. It gives a little bit more something to run the blade against. And I'm terrible at staying within the lines, so where's the shunter gone off the desk? The track is still up here. I had to move it out of the way for work, but it'll come back when I do more testing. Oh, you talking about the back and forth that I used to have on the front? Yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't know that I have a scale rule on my Amazon list. It's the, I think I usually get my scale rules from, what is that company called? Micromark. I believe I have two of them now, and I believe I've gotten both of them from Micromark. If I recall correctly, CA glue was used on the raw edges. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Mike, I haven't, or George, sorry. George, I haven't had it running on my desk in a while, but I did used to. I definitely did used to have it running there. So this is going to go in here. We'll glue the inside here first, and then we'll glue the outside, because I have a feeling that the way this edge is bent, that is going to cause me trouble right here in New York City. That's trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P. It stands for pool. So the good news here is it looks like I can use a little clampage, because it's close enough to the edge to clamp it, and that is going to help get it in the right spot. So let's use the clamp here as well. Oh, see what I can make happen. There we go. That kind of looks neat, right? I don't know. I think that's kind of fun. It's a fun looking little structure. I think if you're far enough away from it, you might not know. Is this what they call origami? It does feel that way. Cut a bit out straight. Jethro clampage. What do you need one? Oh, of the thing. As far as I know, the Micromark ones are pretty much kind of a standard end scale ruler. I'm looking on. So this is the one I have. Let's go here. So this one comes from Horizon Hobby. If you don't know, Horizon Hobby is the owner of Athearn. But here, scale ruler. And they do sell on Amazon. Horizon Hobby does. But this is the one that I have. I think I actually have two of these. So yeah. George, don't confuse me. It's easy to do. All right, so this should probably be close to set up. I guess I can probably just leave those clampages on. And let's see if I can get in here to add some glue to this end. And then we'll clampages this up. And after we get this clampaged up, so this piece here goes along the top, is kind of a little valance, I guess you can say. This is going to be interesting. So to do this, this has to pull this over, because it is not straight. It seems to kind of be working. And we'll put a little clampages here too. And you know, if you could get far enough away from this, this might not be too bad. Once you get a bunch of cars and stuff around it, and once you like shore up some of these walls and stuff. Oops. Apparently that did not set. Huh. Starting to fall apart a little bit on me. Some of the spots that I glued earlier are not holding as well as I might like. But so I think I'm probably going to leave that clamped for a little while. That's to just throw it out the window. Best thing about O scale is that a regular ruler works. Yeah, you two rail O scale, guys. Yeah, exactly. If you're far enough away, if you close your eyes and turn around, it looks great. You'll never notice it. But Yeah, I'm thinking this is kind of where I think I'm going to stop tonight, because I'm getting to the point where I really need to let what I have done previously dry before I move on to the next thing, because I'm starting to kind of pull it in different directions to to get things aligned. And I think the best thing to do is to just have patience. And I'm terrible. I'm terrible at patience. It's not something that I am overly good at. So while I get the opportunity, I'm going to do that right now. And from the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity.